One thing about being a mom of boys fucking hate men is they are set up for success in dating. They're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes. But they have heard me rant and have these uncomfortable conversations with them about what men do that's inappropriate and how to hold the men around you accountable as men. Because unfortunately, a lot of men only listen to men. And my oldest son is 18, and seeing the way that he treats the women in his life, I had a conversation with him the other day where I'm like, I'm so proud of the young man that you are turning into, and I'm so proud of how much you care about your girlfriend's feelings, and I'm so proud of the way that you go out of your way for her, and you do all these things. And he's like, Mom, that's the bare minimum. That's so insulting. And I just love it. I'm so proud. And when men do shitty things, my sons are the first one to be like, is everybody just gonna gloss over that? That was not okay. What are you talking about? And it just gives me a lot of hope. A lot of the men who get their panties all in a bunch because I don't want you, are like, oh, I feel bad for your son. Okay, first of all, which one? I have 4. And second, they're gonna be equipped to deal with women. They're gonna be equipped to deal with women or men, whoever they choose to be with. And they're going to be able to recognize and see them as humans, have deeper connections with them, instead of the kind of moms who just, ask for them forever. Their son can do no wrong. And I understand that sometimes I have mom goggles on and I just think my sons are the best. But also, if a woman comes to me and says things like, hey, that was shitty, I'm not going to fight her on it. I'm going to turn around to my son and be like, hey, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. Let's hold you accountable even when it's uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you're unsafe. It doesn't mean I hate you, but we're going to have a conversation about how this isn't okay. So I, as a woman who hates out of men, I am so grateful to have these kind of conversations with my sons, and grateful for the books I make them read and the conversations we have, because I think it sets them up for success so much more than having a mom who contributes to the patriarchy and thinks their kids can't do anything wrong and doesn't hold them accountable and doesn't have these conversations about how things within relationships can be abused that are just out of people.
Wow. So a self-identified man hater is raising 4 boys. Yikes, man. She has 4 sons and she's teaching all of them all of this feminist nonsense, all of this equality nonsense. She's basically a beta factory. And this is just what single moms do. Like I was saying before, they teach their sons to be betas. They teach them to hold women up on the pedestal. And of course, relationships like this just do not work out. They don't work out. They break a fundamental law of relationships. Women only follow men that are better than them. Okay, this is hypergamy 101. They only follow the men that are better than them. They only respect those guys. If you are in a relationship and you're constantly capitulating to whatever her emotional state is that day, you're saying, don't worry, baby, I'll change, I'll get better. I'm so sorry I played video games for 14 minutes today and I didn't get you your matcha latte on time. You constantly bow down to whatever her wants and needs are that day. You are serving her. You are not leading her. And when that happens, the relationship is doomed. It's doomed. He's basically destined to get cheated on, get disrespected over and over. Treat her like a celebrity and she'll treat you like a fan.
I fear I'm raising an incel, red pill, woman hater man. This one is so serious and so fierce. I'm not saying the rest of them are not serious and fierce that you guys DM me, but I saw this and I was like, This mommy DM me. She has a 15-year-old boy. I think she's 30 because she said she was a really young mom. And she went through his stuff, his iPad, his phone, his PS5, I think. She went through his chat logs. I don't know if you could do that, but she went through his gaming stuff or his Discord chats, because he started to act really weird towards her. He was talking back more. He called her a bitch last week, and he had gotten in trouble at school because he was calling girls and stuff. Mind you, 15, you can't be a at 15. I mean, shit, maybe you can be on, but you can't, you're a kid. And she said when she went through all his stuff, all of his watch history was like all this red pill content, very Kevin Samuels-esque, very Andrew Tate-esque. She knows this comes from and probably found out about this content from being at his dad's house. She says that his dad, machista, mujeriego, like hella cheated on her, put hands and feet on her. Just a really bad man. So she knows that like when he goes over there, there's like, he's probably hearing the same stuff that like her ex would spew and he's absorbing it. He says he uses every slur under the book. But she feels like shocked. She's like, I didn't raise him to be this way.
So this mom wrote in basically saying that red pill content kind of ruined her son, saying he's become a bad guy, he's mean to women and all this kind of stuff. So the thing is, I want to start off by saying the red pill is just the truth. It is a collection of data. That's all it is. You see 50% of marriages end in divorce. You see only the top 5% of guys get swiped right on dating apps. And it's really just calling out a lot of the bad female behavior of today's modern age and teaching men how to maneuver through it. A lot of basic things like this. And a lot of people, they misconstrue this as misogyny. They say you are misogynist because you are noticing female nature and female behavior. That's what it is. And really, for the most part, I don't hear anyone giving the advice to go around your town or your school or whatever and start calling women, let's just say slurs, because this is YouTube. As far as I can see, there is no one within this space telling young men to do that. Because what you may see is guys online, maybe they're reacting to a TikTok or something like that, and they'll get a little bit heated, okay? You can even say that for some of my videos, even though most people would say I'm quite level-headed. But you'll see some of these guys, you know, they'll be watching a TikTok or something and be like, yeah, she's a 304, a promiscuous woman, whatever. But this is much different going around in person and saying that to women face to face, especially not to your own mother. This is not behavior that I condone, because the way I see it, especially when I'm creating my videos and all that kind of stuff, I try and break it down. I try and break down what the mindset is and why you would not want to date a person with that kind of mindset, you know? So I really try and approach it from more of a psychological, behavioral perspective. And just going around and yelling at women, this isn't gonna change anything. Like, quite honestly, you're making all of the guys look bad. You really are. There are legitimate issues that need to be addressed, and this is not solving anything. Because what will actually start to swing the pendulum in the other direction, to start combating all of the bad behavior and all of the feminist mindset and all of this, one, it's actually women shaming other women, okay? It's the hive mind going back to tradition. That is a huge key role. And just imagine this. If every single time a woman went out on a date, the guy said he doesn't take women seriously that are on social media, he doesn't take women seriously that go out clubbing, he doesn't take women seriously that have male friends. If they heard that every single time, things might start to shift back the other direction. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. Let's get back to the video.
But she feels like shocked. She's like, I didn't raise him to be this way. And she feels half guilty because she says she works a lot. I mean, obviously you have a 15-year-old son, you're so young, like you need to work. So she says she works a lot. So she feels like she's not doing her part of like managing his internet access more and managing what he's looking at. And also the dad being a problem. Like that's a whole other layer on top of it. She's afraid of what he will become and what he is becoming. And she's afraid that she can't do anything to stop it because she's tried to talk to him. And he told her that she's spreading like feminist misinformation and like the feminist agenda, which is like, what? You should all, first of all, you should all be feminists, whether you're a boy or girl, non-binary. You should want women to be equal to men. Like you should want everybody to have rights. I think that's just humane. And when she told me this, I was like, oh my God, I'm not saying hit your kid, but I could not be a parent because I would. She says that when she was talking to him, he was telling her all of this. And then he was like, you know what? That's why dad cheated on you. That's why dad hit you. You deserve to be hit. Women like you deserve to be hit. You deserve to be put in your place. That's why women like you like get treated that way. You deserve to be treated that way. Excuse me? Have you ever slept on asphalt outside in the freezing cold, you piece of garbage?
And the next thing we need to talk about is what single mothers do to the boys that they raise. What a lot of single mothers do is they raise their sons to be the exact opposite of their toxic father. That's what they do. They teach them to be chivalrous. They teach them to be nice, gentlemen, pay for the dates, all of this equality. You affirm her emotions. If she's yelling at you, you just sit there and take it like a man. You provide for her. You pay for the dates. You do all of this. Essentially what they do, they turn their sons into these beta males. That's what it is, these terminal beta males. And especially in this case where this boy's mom is a feminist and spewing feminist garbage to him as well. So when this happens, you really only have two outcomes. You really do. You either have the boys that turn out to be these beta, soft weaklings, or you have the ice cold bad boys. That's what it is. There's not much in between. So what I see happening with this young man right here is basically all of the information that he was taught growing up, he's realizing, wow, this is totally BS. You've been lying to me. This isn't correct. I tried doing what you said and I get terrible results. And that's where I think a lot of his outrage is coming from. Again, I'm not condoning it. You shouldn't be yelling at your moms or anything like that. You shouldn't be cursing at them, but that's probably where the behavior was coming from. And on top of totally beta-fying their young sons, they will also shame the toxically masculine traits that that boy's father has. Okay? So she's heavily pushing these feminist equality beta mindset while shaming anything that looks masculine. Let's keep going with the story.
I mean, of course, Grace, because he's 15, but also we cannot coddle little boys. That's what I told her. I was like, you cannot coddle your little boy. You have to, like, be on him. Imagine having your seed talk to you like that. Are you kidding? The amount, first of all, going in labor is literally a life or death situation. Like, for you to put your life on the line to parir this kid and for him to talk to you like that, I'm so sorry. And I told her, I don't have kids. I don't plan on ever having kids. So I feel like my advice isn't good because I just can't even imagine being in this situation. What I told her was, like, I don't know if there's like resources that you could look for like a counselor, a therapist to talk about these things, because all that anger he has for women, because that's what she said, she's like, he's angry, like veins popping out when he talks about it, like angry. That can lead to so much stuff. Like, we've seen this show Adolescence on Netflix. The amount of times that like a young boy does something to a girl out of like anger because she's not like letting up to his advances, or just anger about anything, is very, very dangerous. And we need to protect little boys as well as little girls. We need to protect them. And to me, part of protecting little boys is protecting them from consuming that kind of content. 15? You're a little boy. You're a baby. You shouldn't even be thinking about women in that kind of way. Like, if anything, maybe there should be like little crushes and you get excited about girls. If you're like straight, you get excited about girls. Or if you're gay, you get excited about little boys and stuff. But not angry, like, or worried about like playing soccer at lunch. I don't know, not anger.
Women cannot raise boys to become men. They can't. Men raise men. This story that we're hearing right now, and this woman that is commentating about it, is proof of exactly that. They do not understand masculine dynamics. They don't understand a man's mind. The advice that most women would give this young man is, oh, you just need therapy. You need to go talk about your problems. You need to go work out that toxic masculinity and talk to a woman about it too, a female therapist. That's what you need. And this is a huge key part of it, because this is what they do not understand. Men need to control their emotions. Men need to learn how to direct those emotions into positive outcomes. All of this beta-fying that I was talking about earlier, how the single moms turn their sons into betas, they also tell them to be in tune with your emotions. Express your emotions. That's exactly what they'd be doing in therapy too. But can't you see that this young man is doing exactly what you told him to do? He's doing exactly what you said. He's sharing his emotions. He's sharing. He's being emotional. He's being open about it. And what happens? He gets shamed. He gets talked down to. He gets called dangerous. They try and put him in therapy, maybe on some pharmaceutical drugs as well. But he's doing what he was taught. He is being emotional. He is expressing himself. And the key thing is that they don't understand is that male emotions are different than female emotions. Because when men get emotional, there's the potential for destruction. There is, which is why men need to be taught to hone your emotions and direct them in positive ways. And this is kind of a side note, but if this is something you're struggling with, take all of those emotions that we're talking about right now, direct it into the gym, okay? Doing something physical, doing something physically difficult. That will exercise all of those negative emotions out of you. Literally. You don't need to go sit down and talk about your problems for hours on end. You need to improve yourself and improve your life. That's where all of your energy should be going.
My advice at the end of the day was just like counseling, therapy, try to like patrol his access. I know he might like hate you and resent you for it, but you are his parent and you do have the right to like restrict some things from his phone. Like, I don't think that makes you a bad mom if you're strict about what they're viewing and like listening to. I think that is protecting your child at the end of the day. Getting them off of social media, he's gonna hate you and he's gonna be mad, but I think in the long run it'll be good for his brain. If you have any advice, any words of wisdom for this mama, please comment them below. She needs it.
So parts of that I do actually agree with. I don't think young people should be on social media or even have a phone, to be honest. You're giving your child access to the entire world's information and access to millions of different people at such a young, impressionable age. But again, just listen to the advice. Oh, he needs to go to counseling. He needs therapy. That's what he needs. When really, he needs the father that the mom divorced. That's what it is. Reading some comments, this one says, my biggest fear is having a boy and him turning to this. I think one of the craziest things about this is single mothers create men like this. That's what they do, man. Single mother households produce men like this. They produce boys like this. Without that masculine presence in the home to instill that discipline, this is how men respond. This is what happens. And it's not specific to just this case. You can go macro with this as well. This is why you see so many men that are incredibly feminized. You see so many men that express their emotions openly. So really, her biggest fear shouldn't be that her boy is going to turn out this way. Her biggest fear should be her man leaving the home. That's what it is. All this is an absence of masculine presence. This comment right here. And people ask me why my biggest fear in life is having a son. I'll never birth a gender that will grow up to oppress me. It's either I'm having a girl or I'm making that appointment. Jesus Christ, man. Demons. This is where it's so messed up, bro. There is nothing wrong with young men today. Nothing wrong with them at all. The problem is all of these narratives that are being pushed on young men. That's what it is. So many young men are being raised like they're little girls. They're not raised to be healthy, masculine men. They're raised like they are defective little girls. You're not emoting like a little girl does. You're not crying. You're not expressing yourself. Oh, so you must be broken. See, look at all these girls over here. They're not enraged. They're not angry. They're not yelling at anybody. Be more like them. When in reality, we are just completely different. A male brain and a female brain are just totally different. There's nothing wrong with these young guys. They're just being raised in a feminized society.